Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everyone. I was scheduled to come on at 7, but I said this house is quiet. The children are playing, sitting with their dad. And so let me take full advantage of this opportunity to share this insight with everyone. Um, and before going back to mom duties, right? And so I'm super excited to be here with you guys tonight. I'm super excited to share with you guys different ways that you can utilize AI to help you with homeschooling. I know there are so many people who are either for it, against it, in between, all of the things. But I will say this: as homeschool parents, and even just me putting on my educator hat, right? Anything that can help support literacy, support our children who we serve, or our children who are our own, comprehend, build their skills, and prepare them for success in life, whatever that may look like for themselves, for me is a win. For me is a win. And that's just personal, philosophy. I'm here to make sure that every child I serve, or every mom or family that I help, um, is able to simplify things and do it with grace and ease so that they're not burning out. Because I know what it's like to be the burnt out educator, to see the burnt out educator, to see the burnt out mom, to be the burnt out mom. And so anything that's going to help us simplify what we know we still have to do, because we have to show up for our babies, I'm going to roll with it, right? Long as it's not harming, I'm rolling with it, because our children need us in the best form and fashion that they can get us in as they are navigating their small journeys of life. All right. So, without further ado or getting held up, I'm Miss Robinson. I'm the founder of Reading for Smiles, which is a literacy company based in New York. I have been in education for over 2 decades, and running and Reading for Smiles for this year. This year will make 16 years. And so I'm always excited to share my knowledge, learn from others, all in the love of literacy and helping the young people navigate their academic journeys. Um, Really quickly, let me go ahead and get into what today is really about, which is me showing and sharing 7 ways AI can help simplify your homeschool, right? Who doesn't want to do things with grace and ease? Uh, AI is allowing us to plan smarter, teach better, and reclaim time. All right. So the first thing I always hear everyone say, or at least read what everyone is saying in some of the Facebook groups, is homeschooling is too much. It's like, how am I supposed to keep up with my other children? How am I supposed to keep up with the needs of my household, right? With cleaning up everything and making sure the kids are fed and all of the things. Um, Working from home, trying to do all of it, plus stay in compliance, and you know sometimes even work on top of that. So it's just so many different things. And so this is what made me really say, as I stepped into that form too, something's got to give that's going to make this easy. And so inside the groups, everyone's always complaining about the same thing. I will say that, right? We all have the same pressures of life. And so people are like, homeschooling is seeming too much. I'm failing my child. Maybe I need to send them back to school and all of that. And it's like, I don't want any parent to feel like they can't do it. Right. And I don't want any parent to sit there and be so confused to the point that they become crippled. They don't do anything. Right. And so sometimes it's just about clarity and knowing what to do and when to do it, For some people, that may even mean how to do it. But let's have open dialogue about it because it's going to look different for every person. Just like if we were in the classroom, it's going to look different for every teacher because they're all going to bring in their own unique gifts and style of doing it. Right. And so, if we can all just agree for this moment, as I start here, that we want grace and ease and we can do this with clarity, then we're all set. And to be open to what the possibilities are. Okay? It's not a one shoe size fits all everybody type of thing. It's what is the rhythm of my home and what can I do within the time blocks that I have created that my child is getting the best out of me within that part? How can I plan to make sure that I'm not winging it, but that I already have something set? And so some of the tools and stuff that I'm going to go through with tonight is going to help you do that. Also, I want to encourage you to sign up for my free ebook, right? Where it talks about 10 AI tools that you can use, and I break it down on what to use it with, how to use it, how it works for you, and give you 3 tips as well for that tool. Yeah, I went in because for me, I guess it's the educator in me where I'm like, I got to explain this thoroughly, step by step, whatever that looks like, But I want people to get it because I really want people to succeed. And, there's so many different things going on politically, worldly, community wise, all of the different things. And there's reasons why people are bringing their kids out and homeschooling. And so I want to be a support for those families. I do. And for everyone else who's not in that category, you can still benefit from this information. You can still use it to help support your family because, hey, tutoring cost as well, right? And so if you're not going to put the money out there for a tutor, you can at least use these tools to help your child learn the things that they may struggle with or excel, right? Why does everything have to be a struggle? It doesn't. Your child could be excelling and they can be demanding more. And you're like, oh my God, they already excelled at all of this. What do I do next? These tools can help answer that as well. So this space is for everybody. I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. Just want to make that clear. So when it comes to planning, teaching, tracking, and repeating, I'm telling you for a fact that AI tools can help in these segmented areas. And now, I'm telling you, you're not alone. For those who don't know me, don't know my work, never came across this channel before, I am Miss Robinson. I started Reading for Smiles almost 16 years ago because I was actually on a global initiative. And in the global initiative, I realized that education was a huge global concern and that if I wanted to make a difference in the sector, I can start locally back in my community, right? I can realize how many advantages education would award a person if they had clarity, if they had the support, if they had the confidence, if they had the tools, right, to grow and master the skills and keep growing and to become lifelong learners and own their learning. And I also realized that in my pathway of education, that children who not only just felt confident, but had that peak of exploration would sit there and make that a part of their regular lives of that inquiry of, oh, I can learn more about this. Or if we sat there and in school world painted how real life connects to literacy, we can close the gaps. Right? Too many times, and I don't want to go too far off tangent, but too many times have we sat there and saw like, oh, my kid is learning this at school. They're not going to use this in real life. When does this come up? Every time I've heard someone say that, I've cringed because I felt like it was a lost opportunity for a connection to be made. And so if we're learning angles, perimeter, whatever that is, we can have a job in construction, we can be an electrician, we can do so many different things around that, right? We can build sports clubs and gyms and things of that nature, because these are still people who are looking at mathematics in their scope of work, right? And so there's that. And so I just feel like the school system as a whole, and those of us in the sector, and the beauty of being able to homeschool is to be able to link those connections. And so that's my purpose, or at least one of my purposes, right? Um, and that's been my experience. Taking things that children need to know and connecting it to real life so that they can really grasp it, understand it, master the skills that flies around it, and soar. Now, why did I join the homeschool space? For a few reasons. One, some of the things that were happening in the school system, I just no longer felt tied to or agreed with. And what I'm never going to do is shift my moral compass for others. I'm not going to do that. I have integrity. I'm very clear and certain about certain things, and I do not want to serve in any environment that is not going to put children first. So that's my own personal claim with that one, right? That's the first. Second, my life changed dramatically. And now I'm a mom, and I said, what is it that I want to be able to pour into my own children? Right? What is it I want to make sure that they get? And how can I do that? And how can I still be me, which is the educator at heart, right? The lover of literacy, but still serve my own children and not come up short for them. And so those are the things that really forced me into the homeschool space. Things were happening very quickly and crazily, and I thought about the other options out there, like, oh, but if my kid is going here, blah blah. And then I saw things on the news that was happening to people's kids in daycares and stuff like that. And I'm still a supporter of those things, but I was just like, oh wow, let me take a step back and let me nurture my children, while I can do so, but still show up and serve from the same cup, right? And so there's that. And so that's part of my story of joining the homeschool space. Now, let's really get into what you are here for. AI is a tool, it's not the teacher. I have to say that because I know some people are like, AI is replacing everybody. It's not. Is it impacting all the industries? Definitely. I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a community activist, I'm a youth advocate. So I know different circles and how things are moving around in these spaces. But I will say this, it is an advantage tool that we are going to start seeing more people use as time goes on. And our children will have AI tools and stuff that look far more different and far more advanced than what we're even utilizing today. Right. And so at the end of it, we are our children's first teachers. We are still the experts in their lives. And I believe that everyone who's going on this homeschool journey, for whatever reason, that they're taking this path, still wants the best for their child, right? And if you send your child to school, you too still want the best for your child, right? There's no wiggling around that. And so how do we make sure we're showing up for our children? Is by leveraging these tools. These tools are not the teacher, but they do help the teacher. Okay? So I've shown you guys different prompts to plans on the website. I actually have a whole VIP bundle that you can just purchase, that has all the different prompts that you can plug into different AI tools to help you plan out all of your lessons, your quarterly reports, your assessments. If you're here like in New York, like I am, your IHIP drafts, um, and all of the things. You can even get book resources for your child. You can get tips on what to do if your child is struggling with reading or struggling with math and whatever else. There are different tools that can be utilized for that. And so those are my two reference points I'm going to share with you guys tonight is get my ebook, which is free, or you can buy my prompts that are on the website to just make your life easier and just follow. Oh, plug and play with this prompt, put in the information about your child and keep going, right? Every child learns differently, and AI allows you to adapt to that. So the clearer you are with your tool of choice, the clearer your results can be for your child. You become the guide. The first thing or the first way AI can help homeschooling families is that AI builds lessons faster. We're taking from hours to minutes. I always laugh with my educated friends that, you know, the days start to blur because you are responsible for 30 children. You're trying to lesson plan, you're trying to differentiate if, you're that type of teacher. And you have to take into all accounts all the little personalities that are coming in your room. And so you need to make sure that all of those children can understand the content and requirements that are met for their grade level based on standards, et cetera, et cetera. That takes hours. That takes hours. And for the moms who are homeschooling, you now realize it took a long time because now you're trying to figure out what books to grab from the library, what resources you can use to teach, which workbooks have pages in it that correlates to what you're trying to teach, all of the things, right? And that can be a lot. That can be a lot. So AI helps us build those lessons faster. We tell it the content, we tell them the aim point, we tell them the skills we wanted to our child to know, and we make it happen within minutes. Next, AI tutors and homework helpers. I'm going to tell you these three: ChatGPT, Khan Academy's Comingo, and Google Socratic. Those three will help if your child is struggling with anything. Khan Academy has been around just as long as I have been. And I always even referred my parents to them, especially because when they came out, they started off with math. Now they do a whole lot of other things. And they've built their own GPT inside Chat GPT. And so if your child is struggling with a concept, a question, you can literally take that question and put it inside one of these AI tools and help get it answered or broken down into steps that you can help explain to your child, or create things that is broken down for your child to use for them to grasp it. Okay, so in that case, it's phenomenal as well. Um, and remember, this is stuff that's support. And I'm going to put this disclaimer out there. Please do your own due diligence in checking your sources of things what that AI gives you. However, I will give you this tip. If you tell it to find you out any information and you inform it to give you the resource that it used to come up with that information, you will be gold and you will have just now saved yourself more time. More time. This is why it's so important to know that you must front load these AI tools with information so that it gives you accuracy, it gives you what the content you're looking for, and the tips that's going to best serve your child. All right. Hope I am flowing for people. Next. These tools with AI also help with automated grading and progress tracking. Oh, yeah. In New York, we still have to keep track of all of the things our child is learning, right? And I'm going to say this fits anybody. If you're in the K to 12 space, um and you're homeschooling and your child wants to go to college, right? You get to that peak where that becomes a conversation. You want to have all of your tracking parts in place because you want to be able to demonstrate, oh, my child was efficient and proficient in this. And it becomes your proof, right? And so QuizGecko, Scribelist.ai, Magic School AI helps with the grading assistance. These tools are great for that. You can come up with your own assessment and plug it into these, and it'll do the automated grading and stuff for you. How cool is that? I think that's super cool. Um, Next, we have creative writing and reading support with AI. So, one of the best tools I like when it comes to, especially with writing, is the Claude AI. Then you have Storyteller AI and LOAI Reading Coach. Another one I will put on here is Google Reads, I believe is the name of it. Google has its own reading app. And even inside that app, for students who may be struggling, uh, if you decide to do this, I'm not telling you to do this. If you decide to turn on the voice, your child is reading into the device and it's tracking as they're reading. And when they stumble on a word, the book will pause and it allows for them to try to say it again, and it'll tell them how to pronounce it and stuff like that. When I used it with my students, I did not turn the voice on. However, we did use it as a mechanism to uh, practice reading, and then it stops and asks them comprehension questions in the middle of the story just to make sure that the child is following along before really moving on. And so for that, it's a great tool. And so definitely try these out. They work great. You can do fill in the blanks, you can do sentence starters, you can do create your own stories, things of that nature. So definitely. Next, organizing your homeschool schedule and resources. This is where automated scheduling, resource management, and progress synthesis all can come into one. Little Lit AI and similar platforms serve as your digital homeschool assistant, helping you plan your entire year, week, and day with intelligent suggestions. Again, as with all tools, you have to feed it the information of what you're trying to do, what you're looking for, even your own state regulations, because that's something I'm going to say everyone should know wherever you live. Make sure you are aware of what your homeschool laws and homeschool rules are, so that when you're using these tools, you are informing them of your location and that it's going to make sure you are in compliance that way. Okay. Um, and of course, anything that can help you plan out the entire year is always going to be a game changer. you, I just don't see how it couldn't be. Um, Six, engaging STEM and life skills with AI. So Scratch and its AI extensions, Little Lit AI again, and Perplexity AI are all good for this. I'm going to even add in Chat GPT. And there's some more I list in the ebook. So please, again, go to the website. I'm going to show it before I close out with you guys, just to show you what it looks like. It's like I said, it's completely free. Get it, use it. You don't have to use all of the tools in one setting or anything like that, but it's super informative so that you're not starting from zero, but you're starting with information. Um, you can literally put together your own STEM kits. I like to do science from utilizing things we have right here in the house. So that one, um, it's easy to do, two, flexible because you're home, and three, cost effective as well. And you can do some really cool things. Okay. Then next, AI helps handle paperwork. Hmm, Depending on your state, depends on the paperwork. And so, standards and rules of your state, which I was just talking about, is very, very important because New York to Oklahoma to Texas to California to Florida to Georgia looks completely different. Completely different. And the more of us who are joining the homeschool uh, way of life, I feel like there's going to be different changes around compliance for all of us in these different states. And so we have to just at least be on top of that. And again, once you know the what they are expecting, then you can extract, okay, this is what we're going to do this year, this quarter, this month, and this will keep us in alignment to what the standards are as well as what the expectations need to be. Um Also in New York, we have to actually submit our little report. Um AI can help build out that report. And I believe I did that in another video, or it's a part of my VIP prompt bundle. It may be in that one. Um, and so you can literally create a report based on what your child has done for the week, for the month, for the quarter, and then for the year if necessary. And especially if you are using a couple of these tools together. You want to keep it simple and clear for yourself. I am a PDF, put it in a document in print type of person. That way I just have it. I have advised others to, create a folder in Google and just keep track of what was taught when and what subject. And the other night I did something with chunking, but that video is now embedded into our website stuff, so it's not here on this channel. But I'm going to do some more where I can show you how to chunk plan. This way you're meeting all of the content needs plus hitting the required hours that it may take. Like here in New York, they go by the hours. And so that's important. And you want to have your proof and have good record keeping. Um, I have a roadmap intensive that I'm going to share soon. I'm going to do a pre presentation for it, and it will be a small opening. I want to work with 5 to 10 parents on this, where we basically create the roadmap for your child, and we go full throttle into planning out the year, and we work together. Right, it's live, we work together. It's virtual but it's live, and I'm showing you the tools, I'm giving you the information. We're planning based on your child, right? We're taking the information and we're planning what we develop for your flow of things. And again, there's no concrete schedule on, oh, well, you need to teach Monday through Friday. That's not true. When you are planning this for your child, we are literally looking at what's the rhythm of your home? What is your goal? Well, how old is your child and what is the expectations for your child at that age? What are their struggles? What are their strengths? What are their interests? So I plan like that. I have always planned like that. Even when I tutored children privately, quick story, one of my students, she was like in first grade and struggled with reading and vocabulary and writing, but she was a girly girl. So I had put together all these all these cutouts of clothes, like things that she was into, and the clothes had words on them. And so to put that outfit together, the words had to make sense in the sentence, if you follow me, right? And so we put all these different things together, collection of outfits, and it was how she learned. She was a visual learner, that was important. And she loved bright colors, so that she was able to express herself and show her own skill set within the work, while my job was to get her to focus, engage, and learn how to craft proper sentences using her vocabulary words and stuff of that nature. And it was fun. It was fun. And so we can do that because I feel like that's the freedom that homeschool allows, is where you get to shape it towards your child, right? It's for your child, and it's going to be what works for your home and your family. So that's that. If you are interested in that, I'll leave the information for that as well. Um, in the description, I may have to come back and put it in a comment or something of that nature, but I'm going to make sure I put it there. And so before I close out, I just want to remind everyone, thank you for tuning in. If I helped, relieve a little bit of stress from your thought process around things, then by all means, please hit the like button, share this with the friends, download the ebook, sign up for my roadmap intensive, and that's going to be like a whole webinar thing before I work with the 5 to 10 families on it. There is a fee to that, so that's why I want to be transparent with everybody about that. But definitely stay connected with me. I'm always putting shorts out on this channel of different activities that you can do at home, different books that you can read based on age or grade level or even interest. And let's stay connected. No one is alone on this homeschool journey, and I'm here to support you and help you navigate with ease. All right. And so, again, if you guys ever have questions, please leave them also below on the chat, or I can put them on my email. And I'll put this up here, support@readingforsmiles.org. And that is it, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and hope to see you in the next video.